John, this is in many ways the local public health system and the test and trace system working well, because they have been able to see a spike in cases in Blackburn. Now, nowhere near as high as Leicester was at its peak, but they're saying that if they don't take action, that they may have to reverse some of the easing of that national lockdown. But for the moment, they are introducing recommendations. So they are saying a limit of 2 people from the same household allowed to visit another household. More targeted testing, which of course may show a rise in numbers again. No handshaking, they're reminding people if you must do it, bump your elbow. And face coverings, which comes back to the national announcement today. The government saying that from July the 24th that face coverings will be mandatory in shops. Scotland has already made wearing face coverings in shops mandatory. It hasn't happened in Wales. And in Northern Ireland, it is under review. Today, it was announced they will become compulsory in England from July the 24th. So a United Kingdom divided by policy and perhaps even by science.
We want to give people more confidence to shop safely and enhance protections for those who work in shops. Both of these can be done by the use of face coverings.
Yesterday, the Prime Minister appeared in public wearing a face covering, something he has seemed reluctant to embrace. And while many other countries wear them as a matter of course, here scientists were saying as recently as May that they had a marginal but positive impact on the spread of coronavirus. However, the evidence has been growing that face coverings do offer protection, especially for those working in shops.
I think it's a good idea in that it protects people, not only themselves, but other people.
I just don't really understand why they don't implement it now instead of waiting it off for another week or so.
It might be quite hard to try and enforce it, I suppose, because obviously there's not much sort of guidelines around it, apart from everyone's being told to wear a mask. But as a company and as our employees, we're not really sure how we can force people to wear masks.
In fact, those not complying with the new rules in England could face fines of up to £100. Although figures from the National Police Chiefs Council revealed that between June the 15th and the 22nd, just 10 fines were issued across England and Wales for breaching the rules on public transport. There were questions today about why now when the numbers are so low, but the new rules are a reminder that we are not even halfway through this pandemic. Well, the sun is out, sort of, but they're already thinking about winter. And a report commissioned by the Chief Scientific Advisor today says it all, preparing for a challenging winter. So they're looking at mitigating measures, a better public health messaging campaign, especially targeted at those at-risk communities, making sure the test and trace system is working properly, a flu vaccination program, also finding those who are most at risk, and ensuring that hospitals and care homes have COVID and COVID-free wards. The report by the Academy of Medical Sciences says this. The initial spike shows the peak we have passed. Then as winter sets, we see what a reasonable worst-case scenario could look like if no mitigating measures are taken. This is if the R number, the rate of transmission, reaches 1.7. The resulting hospital deaths between September 2020 and June 2021 would be nearly 120,000. But this is what happens if the R number is kept as low as 1.1, still above what it is now. The death toll in this scenario would be 1,300.
We really want to emphasise this is not a prediction. It's unlikely to happen, but we really wanted to say what could happen and how do we best prepare and prevent that happening. This is all about being ready and prepared and resilient to the future winter.
Everybody has a part to play is the theme running through the report, and one it would also seem that has been taken up by the artist known as Banksy. Notoriously secretive, this is thought to be him, spray painting rats around a tube carriage with works entitled, "If you don't mask, you don't get."